Hi, I'm Constantine, the top G of Greece, and today I'm reacting to the top G of Earth, complaining about how much of a low-life, wasteful activity cooking really is. Enjoy. I know you will.
You're going to spend time preparing food? Now, actually think about this for a second. If you're broke, if you're not a millionaire, the last thing you should be doing with your time is cooking. I can't think of a lower ROI activity than walking to the fridge, getting out some ingredients. Ooh.
You're so right. The reason I saw this video a couple of days ago, I was looking for something else on Tate, I think, and it just came up, so I saw it. It's so true. I loved it. I mean, it's funny but it's so true, right? And the main reason I liked it so much is because I have 100% the same opinion, the exact opinion as him on this one. I try as much as I can to avoid the cooking thing. I absolutely hate it. Like I'm always bitching about, but there's the shopping and getting the stuff out of the fridge, like he's going to demonstrate in a second. It's so funny, you know. And actually doing the actual cooking and then waiting. I mean, you might have to, depends on the food. Some of it you have to be sitting there on top of the pot, stirring, whatever, checking it every so often. Okay, when it's something like that, you just stick in the oven and you just go away for an hour and do your thing. That's kind of possible. I try as much as possible to make those easy foods. But yeah, always, I hated it, and I was always been complaining about this all my life. It's like the shopping, the cooking, the preparation. It's not only the cooking, it's the preparing it. You know, cutting the bullshit and whatever you have to do, the different ingredients and blah 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 blah. Measuring, like, because there's a lot of the times with the recipes, the ingredients have to be exactly right. Otherwise, it's not going to come out properly. You know. It's just so much. I mean, I was going to say full-time. It's not, maybe not a full-time, but at the very least, it's a part-time job. Honestly, it's like a part-time job. If you factor in the actual going to the supermarket or wherever else, you know, the fruit shop, etc. Sorry, and you know, the preparation, the actual cooking. You have to eat it. A lot of the times, you have to actually fucking wait because it's too hot. You've got to wait for about half an hour. Yeah, I just stick it in the fridge. I don't care. Like something like a really hot bowl of soup or whatever it may be, I'll just put it in the fridge. I don't care. You know, people have criticized me about this. They're like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, do you have no class at all? You just eating basically frozen food. Can't you just like eat it? You know, quick, your food's gonna get cold. I don't give a shit. I just want it, you know, what he's saying, efficiency, you know. It is the lowest ROI activity, one of. Okay, that you can do when you're a brokey, because in that time, like I said, it's a part-time. You could be doing like spending those 20 hours per week, 15 hours roughly, doing something. Okay, doing something else. I mean, if your time per hour is worth more than the time it would cost to buy some food, or at least half of the time eat out, you know, get takeout or takeaway, as we say in the inferior Commonwealth nations. But yeah, takeout, you see in the USA, I believe. Yeah, it is so much better, and he's so right. That's why I love this. I had to make a reaction, but it's hilarious. Look at what he does now.
Ooh, an onion. Well, let me get the onion. I'm going to start cooking. Fridge. Ooh, an onion and some lettuce.
It's
Get a knife.
This is what I described before.
Cut my onion. Start to cut my onion.
Yeah, sitting there cutting the bullshit.
You're broke. You're fucking poor. You can get rotisserie chicken for $5. Boom, chicken, bang, eat, bang, back to work. You can fucking do a million things. You can go for a run. You can get in shape. The time you spent cooking, if you dedicated to kickboxing, you could have got paid from kickboxing.
Totally.
Or piano. You could fucking be a traveling piano man with the time you...
I've noticed, this is funny, I noticed he's more than once, he's spoken about piano, like there's this thing where he's talking about, well, you know, I want the world to know that if it's going to be Tate, if it's going to be me, you're going to go up against, you know, that they should be scared of me. And it's like, oh, fuck, it's Tate. We're probably going to lose, you know, like, da, 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 da. Like, even if it was a piano, like, I can do, like, practice 16 hours a day for a couple of years, and then I'm going to go right from 0 to 100 really quickly. It's interesting that he talks a lot about the piano. He probably would have had interest in that musical instrument had he had the opportunity to go back and learn an instrument in his teenage years. I reckon he would have picked keyboards. That's interesting. It's an interesting tidbit about him. He's got his man bag there. That is the most alpha thing I've ever seen in my life, I have to tell you. But I'm just joking. I mean, I've got a similar thing as well. It's big here in Greece, by the way. We wear the like belt purse things. It's like around the waist, so you can put your keys in and all that stuff.
Wasted cutting fucking onions. If you're broke, there is zero reason why you should ever prepare me.
100%. You look at the comments underneath this video. People are saying this is one of the most hilarious things, blah, blah, blah. It is, but it's so true. Like, what I love about this guy is that he just, if you strip away, it's similar to Trump, right? If you strip away the bluster and the theater, like, because he's definitely theatrical. I mean, people who have an above Forrest Gump IQ do understand all too well that this guy's playing a character. Okay, like that little clip of Joe Rogan where he talks about that. It's like, you know, surely this guy must be playing a character, right? So definitely he is. I mean, I guess his personality would be along these lines, but he just dials it up to 11 for comic effect. And I mean, I do that as well, even both in Facebook posts and here on videos, because, you know, there's certain people that understand. We get it, that it's like when you're funny, when we deliver the message in a humorous way, in an over-the-top way. I mean, he doesn't only use humor. I use the humor and many others, but he does that. Plus, he tries to be controversial and insulting as possible. It's part of his. It's part of his whole shtick. I mean, his agenda, you could even say. I mean, we can really get into the whole, that three-phase plan that he had. Like, initially he wanted to come out and just shock people and almost deliberately get himself banned, cancelled. So then phase 2 was like to show people that, you know, he would be pretty much the only guy that got cancelled from everywhere, but then was still uncancelable. So, I mean, you know, he's a true chess player, isn't it? And phase 3, who knows? But this is not that kind of video. All right, stay on topic about the food thing, the cooking. It really is. I mean, it's such a peasant attitude and mentality, isn't it? Like I said before in the beginning, it's roughly a part-time job. One person. I mean, people say, well, no, I just cook in bulk, like I cook on Sunday or something and then put it all in the freezer, and then some people do that. So basically they maybe cook once or twice a week. Like you cook like on Sunday or Wednesday, and you cook for like 2 or 3 days all at once. I mean, yeah, okay, but that means that, you know, what, you're going to be eating like only 2 different meals in the entire week, like Monday to Wednesday the same thing, and then Thursday to Sunday again the same thing. So it just gets boring and tedious, and I don't know, I just hate it. I cannot stand just the idea like of going and getting the food. And I mean, I live where I am now, literally the supermarket's like a 2-minute walk away. You know, if it's closing at 9 p.m, if I literally leave the house at 8:50, I can make it if I want to. If there's something I really need and I can't wait till the next day, or if it's Sunday because it's Greece here, like we're a normal country. Most of these stores are not open on Sundays. So yeah, but what if you live like if you have to, if it has to be a little bit more complicated, like you have to perhaps visit 2 or 3 places. You have to go get some fruit, some other specialist grocery store, or whatever you want to get. Like people that are into like the real healthy kind of stuff that they can't really find in the supermarkets, in the generic supermarket aisle. Okay, so you have to do this entire fucking thing maybe, and have to drive. Like I said, all I gotta do is just walk. I can finish like major shopping. I can just go and get like the entire shopping done for the week within under an hour, like in about 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I walk there, 5 minutes, takes about whatever 10-15 minutes to get the stuff. Then depending if it's busy, we have to wait a little bit in the aisle for the checkout chick, blah blah blah, max 30-40 minutes. And that's just, it's get away withable. It's my own word, get away withable. But I wouldn't, like, my ideal would be no, just no. I don't know. I hate it. So, I mean, just that alone, that's enough for me. I mean, if I did that and I had someone else make the stuff for me, then maybe, because you can consider the supermarket kind of like an outing. It's pretty lame. It shows the person doesn't have a life. Not me. I'm talking about this friend of mine I know. I wouldn't, I'm living a great life. So, but honestly, seriously, it's too much. It's like at least a part-time gig. Okay, so he's 100% right here. It pretty much always is. I mean, okay, you can't say that about anyone. It's not healthy to attribute infallibility to someone, even if they are 99% of the time correct. But this guy's pretty close to 100%. And in this particular one, I love it. It's like you can't fault it. It's definitely the lowest, or one of the lowest, probably the lowest ROI activity you can possibly do. Because, like I said, you put that 15 to 20 hours a week. I mean, even if it's 10, for fuck's sake, maybe you can manage to be quite efficient with your shopping and everything else, and just like cook in bulk, like I was saying before, just cook easy stuff that doesn't take too much time. Still though, even those 10 hours, I mean, he's looking at it from the efficiency angle, like to put those extra couple of hours, or even if it's 1 hour, whatever, per day towards your work, which is going to raise your value. Okay, the ROI is going to be much higher if you don't waste time on cooking and all that stuff. But still, let's say even if you don't really want to do that, at least you got like another 10 extra hours a week, like to do something else, to have fun. Like he said, also, like you can be exercising or something, going for a run or whatever, something other than fucking. It's such a low animal thing. It's such a reptilian, like a reptilian brain thing. It's like the lowest base needs, like the absolute lowest part of what's it called, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Like just eating, sleeping, shitting, fucking. I mean, what? That's. I mean, the last one I like, but it's like, no, absolutely no. We need to figure out a way. Well, we have. I mean, takeout, but still, it's no. Come on.
No, God!
Yeah.
No, God, please, no! No!
It's just no. And so he's right about that, and he's hilarious. I just absolutely love his delivery. And I hate onions, by the way. What is it with fucking onions? I'll use them. Like I made something before. I made lentil soup today. And of course, onions is part of it. But I don't understand them. I always, you know, my burgers and souvlakis and whatever, kebabs or whatever, you know, those hamburger, souvlaki-like foods. It's always without onion for me, but apparently it's good when it's you know, when you boil it, like if you make lentils or whatever. So yeah. So to add insult to injury, to top it all, like it's spending 10, 20 hours of the fucking week on just having to eat. You know, and the actual eating part and going to the toilet is it's added. It's extra on top of that. And actually washing the dishes and you can see how worked up I get about this, ladies and gentlemen, right? I think, yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, to add insult to injury, to top it all, I'm forced to actually cut onions and endure the smell and the taste, like on my hands and stuff. You know, I have to wash them really vigorously after, and the knife and everything. I'm like, ugh, why? Why do onions exist? But you know, I've made certain foods without onions, and I understand why you need them, like when it's cooked. But when it's like raw, in a burger or something, you know, people like, if you like onions in a burger, if you actually want the taste of the onions in the burger, you have way more serious problems than the top G of Earth and the top G of Greece has. So, yeah, look, just don't be peasants, okay? Listen to the man, all right? He's 100% on that one. That's all I can say. What else? So, a person's aversion to cooking is directly proportional to how much of a king slash leader slash, you know, royal blood, let's say, they have, or they are. You see what I mean? Like, take Tate, for example, right? Like, this guy is a top G. I mean, as I was saying earlier, it's obviously an act, much of what he does. Like, his personality is like this, but he's just exaggerating it on camera for effect. But his basic personality is, you know, very alpha, very driven, hardworking, very extremely competent and intelligent human being, right? Very successful, okay? The type of person that can basically turn anything to gold. Like, whatever he does, he can do really well in it. Like, if he puts his mind to something, he can succeed at basically any activity, right? I mean, self-proclaimed, he says it, you know, he calls himself that, but, you know, his life and deeds have proven that he is such, okay? So he is like that. And you see a person like that now complaining, like the level of complaining against having to cook on your own and stuff instead of ordering out when you're poor, when you're a brokey still. It's extreme. Like, he's yelling and stuff. He's getting really riled up about it. So yeah, like the antipathy to having to cook, to be able to eat, to live, is directly proportional to how much of a badass you are, basically. Okay, how much of a leader, how competent and smart you are, really. Because I've met people that they just don't understand it. Like I said earlier in the video, I've been complaining all my life about this. And this is why this video was like, you know, hallelujah. It was like, yes. And I've been met with a lot of resistance. Like, people just like, they come up with unbelievable arguments to speak positively about what Top G is complaining about here.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
That was for me. I deserved that. So, yeah, there is a percent. I mean, the people like him, they're about, you know, top 5%, top 2% of men think and act like Tate and co. You know, his brother and all those other guys that he hangs out with in the war room, and all those like Justin Waller and all those guys. The top 1% mentality. It's not common, okay? Because then everyone will be as successful as them, right? So you have to think a certain way. So if you meet somebody, ladies and gentlemen, some advice from me. If you meet people, if you're, if you already have the mindset of Tate, or if you're halfway there and you aspire to it, one piece of advice is if you got to give people, you got to give your friends and potential associates or girlfriends or whatever the peasant test, and a good thing to gauge where they are on the peasant to king scale. Peasant is down at 0, and the king would be at 10. So the higher they are on the scale, the more they would approach kingship, royalty type of thing, like royal genes type of thing, like a person that basically can do anything they set their mind to. And if you work hard enough, you're eventually going to become a Tate, an Elon Musk, etc. Those types of people. So if you are that, or you're halfway, then you aspire to keep getting higher on that scale. Give people, trust me on this one, because I've done, like, this is not a first. This is I told you, I've always been of the same opinion for like 30 years plus now. So when I saw Tate saying it here, it was like a hallelujah moment. Give people the test. Have a discussion with them about like what is their opinion on. Don't mention this video or anything. Just say, have a discussion about what they think about cooking and stuff, or is it better to eat out? Is cooking a low ROI activity? Just like, what's his name? Tate. I was going to say Trump. I've got Trump on my mind. Can't wait for him to win next year, so the planet can return back to normal finally. So that's for another video, for many other videos soon to come. So yeah, do that, and you'll see. You will definitely, like what I said will be proven to be true. Like when you see them, like the ones who you already kind of had labeled as being lower on the peasant to king scale. Yeah, let's say they're a 4 on the scale or whatever, and you kind of already knew that intuitively. When you give them the question about the food, they're going to say that. They're going to be like, "Oh yeah, it's better to cook at home, and I really enjoy." I mean, some of them, if they're extra special losers, they're going to say bullshit like, "Oh, actually, I really enjoy cooking. Actually, believe it or not." That's when you fucking walk away, especially if it's a man enjoying cooking. I mean, I don't know. People might say, "Well, these gender stereotypes. Why can't a man enjoy cooking?" Well, he can, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is subjective. It's mostly my opinion, but I think it's pretty objective. This advice. I mean, it works. Just if you see people like that, they're not very high value by nature. It's just genetically they're just not good stock. Let's say honestly, they're not, because they don't. Because if they were, they would have understood exactly what fucking Tate is saying in this video, right? Or what I've been saying this all my life, since I was a teenager. I'm like, I always used to tell my parents, well, when I get married, a lot of the time I was saying I'm never going to get married, but whatever. When I was saying when I get married one day, I'm not going to be expecting my wife to cook. We're going to be eating out all the time. Like I never like this cooking thing, like having to cook, whether I do it or housemate, roommate, girlfriend, someone, mother, whatever. It's just. It's such a peasant-y thing. It really is, because, like, it's just you're stuck in this treadmill of in the lowest level of hierarchies. Maslow's Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
sometimes I do, but occasionally my brain malfunctions. Happens to the best of us. So. Yeah, on the lowest rung of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Congratulations, I got it right this time. So, being stuck in a fucking treadmill there. It's just you got to go shopping and prepare the food. Oh, what about all that bullshit where they're making something really elaborate and you have to like, I don't know, marinate, put some herbs and spices in the meat, and then like there's like a method where you like part of the whole thing is that you have to like leave it overnight in the fridge or something so it can marinate. All this, it's like Are you fucking directing a movie or something? It's just food. Just fucking order something for, and you know, like he said. You know, I don't want to keep repeating what the top G said here. I mean, it's so fucking true. You know, and I grew up in parents, the Greek parents are like very traditional Greek parents. My mother was like basically Stepford wives, you know, just stuck in the kitchen. I mean, she worked as well, but like very housewifey. I can't stand that. The full-on Stepford wives things, like, you know, just a woman like pretty much spending full-time hours in the kitchen and actually liking it. I mean, that's like a whole new level of masochism, man. I have to really, seriously, really, okay? No, I don't know. So I don't understand it. I don't get. I cannot stand the fact that people, you know, could actually genuinely believe, oh yeah, it's fine to just be stuck in the lower level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs forever. So I'm just shopping and preparing the food and cooking it and then eating it, taking my time as well, like having a dinner, like inviting friends around and stuff, and taking 2 fucking hours to eat in the evening. And then we got to go do the dishes and stuff. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Are you all you're doing is working, and then spending like whatever free time that you have, whatever little free time you have, preparing the food and eating it, and then you have to go and shit it out. Oh, no, it's terrible. Like, I'm telling you, honestly, do this. This test works. What I said a few minutes ago. If you're unsure about someone on where they are on the competence scale, where peasant is down at the bottom and king is at 10 at the top, if you're thinking, oh, this guy's about level 5 or maybe below, I don't know if I want him as a close friend or like to do business with him or something, or if, like I said, if it's a romantic thing, I don't know if I want her as a girlfriend or him as a boyfriend, if it's a woman watching this, whatever. Just give him the cooking test, and if they say things that are completely opposite to what top G is saying here, and the lesser top G here, the top G of Greece here doing the reaction, ditch them. Just put them in the acquaintance zone them, all right? Seriously, you're going to remember me if you do that. This shit works. I know what I'm talking about. I've done, because I've seen it. I haven't seen a single person that's like a, 7.5 and above on the king scale, not having pretty much this identical opinion on the food, on the fact that food, and especially cooking. I mean, to me, I'll give you a bit of extra on this. I'll take it a step further. I forgot before, but it just came to me. All my life I've been also bitching about the fact that not cooking, forget that. That's like the lowest of the low to actually spend the time on that. Like, what kind of a peasant? But the actual fact of eating, the act of eating, I'm like, what? Why can't I just have those astronaut pills? Why does this have to take, oh, I have to eat it, I have to chew it, and then there's the toilet aspect, and then 3-4 hours later I'm hungry again. What the? It's like, what? I don't know. Where is it? Yeah. I mean,
What the fuck are you talking about?
what is this? Really? What is it? What the hell is this shit? So, yeah, even the eating itself, I find, cuts into our efficiency. So then going one step further, going even lower on the king, peasant to king scale, and saying, oh yeah, I want to cook it actually because I really enjoy like cutting those onions and stuff. Do you? You're a peasant. Okay? So yeah, trust me. I've never seen a person being at roughly 7 and above on the king scale and saying, gee, I love spending 20 fucking hours of my week, of my precious time that there's never enough of, to just cook. Okay? He's saying now that for brokies it's no good. But even when you got money, it's even more so you're gonna eat out or order takeout. I mean, my plan, the idea is to, when you get enough money, You live in a big house and you have a chef, a cook. You have someone that does it for you. Clearly, you or your wife or whoever is not going to do the shopping, the cooking. Out of your mind? Like, what? You know? So, yeah. Not only is the eating just such a waste of time. I mean, it's good, you know, pizza and stuff. Yeah, okay. It's fun. But, come on, man. Anyway. Yeah, this is 35-minute reaction video. Reacting to a 1-minute video, but it took me 35 minutes. Oh well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this and got some entertainment and good information and tips. I mean, like I'm going to say for the 10th time, try that out and remember me and come back and comment underneath if it worked, if you know, because you'll see, like, it's impossible for a high-level man or woman to believe that, especially for men, because we're more, you know, men must become, men are doers, right? So we want constantly, we're anxious when we're younger, especially. We're constantly anxious 24/7, the ambitious types, the ones of us who are top, you know, like they have the royal genes, like I was saying. We're constantly anxious about raising our SMV, our status. It's a constant thing. With women, sometimes it might not be, because as we know, when the more successful a woman becomes, her mate options kind of drop. Okay, it's different. Okay, because they are judged on the beauty scale. Men are judged on the competence scale, while they are judged on the beauty scale. When we average all the scales up, all the different metrics that men and women look at in the opposite sex, it can be distilled down to the beauty scale for women and the competence scale for men. So if the more successful a man is, the more options he's going to have for mates. You know, like his sexual marketplace value is going to get higher and higher. With a woman, at some point, it starts to sort of, you know, it's like diminishing returns at some point. So perhaps women, even when they're successful and intelligent, you know, royal genes type of person, type of woman, she might still think, okay, it's cool. I enjoy cooking and stuff. It's a woman-y thing, you know. On average, it's more of a woman-y thing than a manly thing, because it's just, you know, staying at home, being all earthy, you know, earthy cooking. Oh, I like cooking because it's earthy and it grounds me. I've heard that. Haven't you heard that before from your female friends or girlfriend or whatever? I've never had a conversation with a man that says, oh, cooking really earths me and stuff. But a little bit, but it's more rare in men, right? So, you know, Mother Earth, Father Sky. Men are more aloof or not as attached to the material realm, right? So, Mother Earth. So for women, you know, maybe it doesn't apply, that whole peasant to king scale. So it's king, obviously. So king applies to men, right? So I'm a man. I'm addressing men mostly. If women get something out of these videos, fantastic. But I understand only the male perspective, or primarily the male perspective. So, okay, I'll modify it a little bit. Let's try, I'm addressing the men and the women, but try this trick only when you're trying to vet a man. For the men, it's like business partner or friend or potential friend, potential bandmate or whatever, if you want to do some kind of music project with him or whatever it may be, whatever collaboration or business venture. Yeah. See what they think about what Mr. Tate said here, or maybe show them the video. I mean, if they're not anti-Tate, if you don't think they're going to get triggered by seeing him, just casually just put it on, say hey, or send them the link, say hey, this is hilarious, blah blah blah, and see their reaction. If they say that, oh, he's full of it, I actually enjoy cooking because this and that, all the bullshit that I said before, like it grounds me, and it's like, well, you're dealing with a loser. If it's a man, I mean, he's definitely not, he's not. At most, he's like a 5 or 6 on the king scale. 6 and 6 is too much. 5, you know, it's capped at 5. You can't go over 5 if you're overly fixated on the lower level, the lowest level on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You know, like overly concerning yourself on how you're going to shop and cook and blah, blah, blah. No, no. A true king is going to figure out a way to delegate that BS, either by ordering out. Later on, when he's got more money, he can figure something out, like have a woman come in, or have a full-time chef to do it for him, or whatever. If he's inclined that way, he can get like a traditional wife that can do it for him. But I mean, to me, I don't want to subject her to that unless she really, really wants to. I mean, fuck. Being in the kitchen on a full-time basis, 20, 30 hours a week in the kitchen, no, man, no. So yes, I hope you enjoyed, ladies and gentlemen, and you got something out of this. If you did, share it around. Like and subscribe. The liking especially helps a lot. Check the website underneath. I've got the link. I've got a bunch of stuff there. Books, upcoming books, energy healing services. Yes, I know. They're like, what the fuck is this doing on a channel like this? You're talking about manosphere stuff, and then you have a page on Reiki. Well, we can be many things at once. I have my original channel, the new Aeon 2012, which is also linked, caters exclusively to occultism and spirituality. So this is a newer channel here. So this one, let's say this Constantine podcast one is, you could say, caters to the masses and caters like to the exoteric agenda, like busting down the various mind viruses that proliferate through academia and fake news and Hollywood and all this stuff. And that's basically what I'm attacking here, fighting it with objective truths and with humor as well. Whereas the other one focuses on the deeper stuff, like the core of, what this entity we call the Cabal actually does to us from a dark occultist perspective. So some of you will be interested in that as well, so you can go and check that channel out. So again, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I will see you again very soon.